Gratitude no more chains, no more mess. Time to make a change. No more holding myself back. The change begins in me. I'm answering the purpose call. Positive push. Embracing life. I'm valuable in life. Today's a new day. A fresh taste of new grace. Gratitude don't sky high. No more late. Today's a new day. Let the old pass away. Gratitude don't sky high. No more chains, no more lead. No more holding myself back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of What's in Your Cup Conversations. I am excited, guys. First of all, you know who I am. I am your favorite life balance and accountability coach, Consuela Nicole, and your host of What's in Your Cup Conversations. As you know, here in What's in Your Cup Conversations, it is not just about what's in your cup, but we're going to talk about that too. But we're talking about what's in your mental, physical, and emotional cup. You know, we are in this wonderful thing called social media, cancel culture, whatever you want to call it, where, you know, we are quick to see the beginning of someone's story and the highlights and the glitz and the glam of someone's story, but not too many talk about the hills and the valleys and the ups and the downs. So we're going to have some transparent conversations this season. And let me tell you, you are in for some treats, some surprises. So make sure you have your cup, your tea, and your coffee, or whatever you're drinking on. And make sure you join us every other Wednesday, no matter if you are joining us from Facebook or YouTube. Make sure you share these links. And I say that with my whole heart, because you never know if the conversation we're having is the answers to someone else's prayer, right? You may be that best friend, that good friend, you know, whatever you are to somebody. But if that person don't feel like they can come to you without being judged, they may not tell you what they're struggling with, right? So make sure you share the link, no matter if it's Facebook, YouTube, copy, paste it, whatever you want to do. I want to make sure we do that, right? Before I go any further, I definitely want to, you know, take some time to remember the lives that was changed. All of our lives were changed, but especially those that were lost. What was it, about 23 years ago? Yeah, it's been 23 years since the 9/11 Twin Towers. So definitely keeping those families in prayer as always. Right before we logged in, I saw that, I want to say Francine is her name, Hurricane Francine. She didn't touch down, or she's just about touched down in Louisiana. All my Louisiana folks, definitely make sure you stay safe, stay covered, stay prayed up. These hurricanes ain't no joke this season, y'all. Hurricanes, tornado. So let me tell y'all a quick story, right, before we get started. Yeah, everybody know I'm a Nini. I have a grandson. He's 5 years old. His thing is science, right? Why he had to school me, y'all, on the difference between a tornado and a hurricane. Like, for real. He pulled up videos, showed me pictures, and told me how they was done. So he had to school me on the difference between hurricanes and tornadoes. And I thought that was the cutest thing. Y'all, guess what? It is episode 1, y'all. Episode 1 of What's in Your Cup Conversations. So make sure you tune in or comment, because the comments we can see, you can see, and we're going to get to those comments as well. So let us know who is here and where you are chiming in from. I want to go ahead and get started, y'all, because I am excited about my guest today. Let me tell you, first of all, her name is Miss Victoria. When I first met her, I don't know why, I just could not get this woman name right. I called her everything but Victoria. I had every V name except. But the one thing, and you guys are going to see it, the one thing that had always stood out about her was her passion for people, right? She always looked out for other people. but I want to tell you a little bit about what's in her cup right now. Victoria um, is definitely a testament to the power of compassion and the drive to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. She is a native of Central Florida. I mean, you're at Central Florida, and a proud mom to a young king. Baby, when I say proud, this mom is proud of her son. She's so proud that she embarrassed him. So if you don't know what I mean, check out her page. She has some TikToks and some videos up there, but ain't no mama gonna do it like her, and I love it, right? Um, a little more about Miss Victoria I want to get to. Graduating from Everett University with dual degrees, not just one, but two, right? Criminal justice and psychology. And with this, she embarked on a mission to uplift her community. One of her biggest moments right now is she is the CEO and founder of Her, HER. We're going to let her explain what that is, right? Victoria has dedicated her life to mentoring adolescent teen girls, providing them with the essential life skills needed to navigate the complexities of growing up as well. That's all I'm going to tell y'all about it, because I need to go and bring her to the stage because I want to talk with Victoria.
Hello, hello. Good evening. How are you,
Hello.
Queen?
Good evening. I am beautiful. Baby, look, getting here today, I'm gonna tell you about it, was a task. But how you doing?
Listen, there is just never a dull moment in life, and I'll say that life is just lifing, but I'm amazing. I have absolutely no complaints at all. I'm grateful.
Amen. I am with that. Look, I'm not gonna complain. I will tell you that something in the atmosphere was working, trying to get this episode not to go, because yesterday I had no voice.
Wow.
It wasn't my vocal cords. It was the simple fact that something I had been taking and using for the last 5 years decided, was like, guess what? You're allergic to this now. We're gonna close up your airway.
Oh, God.
The devil is a lie. We're not doing that.
That
Even
part.
if I have to whisper, we gonna be here today. So I am here. Good evening. I knew there was a delay. There they go. Hello, Roy. Thank you for joining in. Miss Tiffany, I see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Felicia, thank you for joining. The one thing about using the different platforms, sometimes there is a delay of
Hmm.
such, right? But we're gonna keep it going because I am here with Miss Victoria. First of all, I thought you had a cup.
I
What's
do.
in your cup?
I
What
have
you
you some,
sipping
I
on?
have
What you
you
sipping on?
some chai tea with some little bit of oat milk, okay, and just a little bit of cinnamon.
Oh, I like that. I like that mix. I may have to try that one. Right now, I'm doing some ginger lemon tea with
Okay.
honey right now.
Okay.
I have to keep it warm. Um, man, look, of all people that I went through a season of pause where there was absolutely no voice. Did you know there was a such thing of vocal therapy?
Yes, yes. A
I
lot of
did not.
artists do it. A lot of artists do it because there's so much strain on the voice.
I had no idea. Doc said you need to go through vocal therapy. I was like, what's that? I really thought they had just made it up. Girl, I didn't know. I
Yes,
didn't know.
it's a thing.
So, Victoria, I have to ask. I know I just put out there a lot of things that you are involved in right now. You are a mom, you criminal justice and psychology. You deal with adolescent young girls. Because when I first met you, that's what you were doing, all
Right.
adolescent little
Yes.
girls.
Yes.
Um, Pageantry, rhinestone. You still a pageant girl. You gonna forever have rhinestones and crowns. I love it, right?
Yes.
And you definitely know how to keep a girl on her toes. I'm just
Yes.
saying.
Aw.
um, and I appreciate you for it. I do. I appreciate you for it. But you've grown. You've had a lot going on the last few years, and you've expanded yourself personally and mentally, right? And
Yes.
professionally.
Yes.
Before we get into that, my first question for you is, I know who I just said Victoria was, but when you look in the mirror, who is Victoria?
It's so funny you say that because when I taught at at the local incarceration facility here, right here in the beautiful
Okay.
city of Orlando, I would always tell my clients that each day when you get up and you brush your teeth, you got to look yourself dead in the eye. And so that
Mm-hmm.
has always stuck with me. So when I look at myself, because even still to this day, and this was over almost 10 years ago, so even today, when I am brushing my teeth, when I am preparing myself to be this person right here, the lashes, the eyebrows, the hair, the makeup, I'm telling myself that with all that you have endured, number one, you're a conqueror. Number two, keep going. And number three, it doesn't matter what today brings you, but just picture yourself walking back through the door. And for me, that's my indicator that I've gotten through my day, regardless of what has happened, that I've
Mm-hmm.
conquered my day. And so I'll say that and I don't want to jump the gun because I know you told me you had some juicy questions,
That's
juicy
all right, baby. Do you go ahead?
questions. But losing my dad, losing my mom, last year losing my sister, um, my indicator every day I get up, it's just, you know what? You're more than a conqueror. Regardless of what you have going on, you got this. And so you had mentioned in previous conversation, you stopped cold turkey on your podcast. What happened? And you're right, I stopped cold turkey, and to this day I still have people saying, hey, listen, what happened to sip tea with Victoria? What happened to Victoria's tea time moments? I heard what you said. I had to shut down. I had to get Victoria's mental psyche all the way,
Mm-hmm.
because I think for me, when I had to lay my sister to rest, that was my that was my straw. That
Okay.
was my straw, because I felt like a piece of me went with her. So even like tonight, I'm able to talk about it without even tearing up. So to answer your question, because I'm a storyteller, to answer your question, I am more than a conqueror.
Okay. And that actually leads to my next question, of going dark. You did, because you were on social media. Like, I could guarantee every time I open my social media pages, I saw something you were doing that was working on young girls and after school programs and all the things, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you just disappeared. I was like, okay, I know she was, dealing with some things with her sister, and she was showing. I gotta tell you, the visit you did with your sister with the elf costume, that was the most beautiful picture that you had ever. I have I suffer with winter blues and winter depression. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the holiday season is not always the best for me. But when
Right.
I saw that video that you did, and you were dancing in the hospital hallway
Yeah.
talking about going to see your sister, I was like, oh my God, that is the most beautiful thing ever. And that lifted my spirit, that when you did that. And I want to say thank you for that first and foremost, because your videos will always put a smile in my heart. And we clear across the country from each other, right? So when you disappeared, I was like, what's going on? Where's she at? What's she doing? Right. So I made sure I was watching when you came back. So one of the things I asked you for, and I asked a lot of my guests, not all, but a lot of my guests, when they go black, or when they go dark, when they have an aha moment, right? I asked them for a picture, and I asked you for a picture for one of those moments where you were just beaming to us. You were smiling like you do, because your smile lights up a room, right?
Thank you.
Um, but where you were completely broken and you were just like, I'm done. This is the picture you sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way you could have convinced me that when you did this picture, this photo shoot, that you felt broken inside. What was going on? What happened? What was going on with you at that time when you put that smile, when you put that mask on for this picture?
That's good. That's good. So I want to go backwards. I'm a storyteller. I don't know how much time we have. But I want to go back to come back up. So me going down the hallways of the hospital with my boom box, my red wagon, dressed in my
Hmm.
little Santa outfit, whatever. Um, I had already knew that my sister was in her final days.
Okay.
We had already had that conversation. The doctors had already said there was much more they could not do. So for me, when she told me that she wanted a whole new wardrobe, now the average person would be like, "Well, girl, you know the doctor said there ain't much more they can do." But no, she said she wanted a whole new wardrobe. So I was literally out the day before Christmas and Christmas Eve, literally buying because she was a name brand girl, buying all the brands that she liked. And
Okay.
to go home, and that year I had adopted one of my mentees to just keep
Okay.
my spirits up because I heal through giving. I heal through cooking and serving. So I'm home cooking this whole lavish meal. Mind you, my sister, I know she's transitioning soon, you know,
Okay.
but I wanted to make it my business to give her that because I
Okay.
felt that I owed her as her sibling, you know. And so
Okay.
going back to this picture right here, a friend of mine, she had a content studio, and her mom, you know, I'm always one, you know, I support everybody. And she said,
Hmm.
we need a model. I need a model. I need one of your friends because y'all, you know, do this for me. We're gonna do your makeup, just get your best outfits. Come on down. I need content for my content studio. She hadn't
Okay.
even hadn't even launched it yet. And so at the time I was in a horrible relationship.
Okay.
I'm grieving over my sister. When you're grieving, you make the worst decisions because your mental state is very vulnerable.
Right.
So in this picture, I'm vulnerable. I'm at my lowest, and I'm telling you, when they tell you you can fake it till you make it, I was literally faking it till I made it. Because this picture, I was hurt. I had questions for days. I'm just being transparent. um,
Hmm.
I felt like I wasn't being who I really am today. I was being a
Okay.
person who the world looks to me to be.
Want it. Right.
That queen, you know,
Right.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
already know when it comes to queendom, and I'm not gonna put the queendom down because the queendom is just it's just you already
Right.
know how it is, you know.
Yeah.
But I was honestly telling you today, I was faking it till I made it. I was in a very toxic relationship, you know, and I
Okay.
was in a relationship, and I'm not putting the fella down, but I was in a
Right.
relationship where I knew he did not want to get married because he told me from the beginning. So here it
Okay.
is. I'm faking it till I made it. Um, I'm a stress eater, so when I stress, I eat. Um,
Okay.
but I'll say that I was doing all the things to accommodate that current season because everything is in seasons.
Yes.
I was doing everything to accommodate that season that I was in, you know.
Okay.
But my God, today, I'm sorry, I'm a church girl. I've been to church all my life. Um,
Amen. Let God use you. Go ahead. We
yes,
good.
I love God because He'll step in when it's time to step in. And I will say that
Right.
He stepped in and snatched me up, and from there, that's who I am today. I'm not, like I thought I was grown in that picture, but like I'm for real, for real, for real grown. Because
You know it.
now,
It Go ahead.
no, because I was just gonna say, because now that I have a sound mind, you know, I can hear when I need to go left. I can hear when I need to go right. I can hear when this ain't
Hmm.
right, and I can hear when this is right. You know, so I'll just say
Right.
that between then and now, I can honestly tell you I'm on a good path of to recovery because you're never just, you know, one thing about grief, and it's so awkward that we're even talking about grief on 9/11 because we've lost so many souls on 9/11. So I don't even say it's by circumstance or what have you.
Right.
But one thing about grief, it's like a sore. It comes and it goes.
Mhm.
And time it
Yes,
begins to heal, all it takes is for you to peel on it just a little bit. And before
baby.
you go, you're back at square one with the bleeding and the hurting and the pain. And so
Mhm.
I will say that it has been a journey and I'm grateful for it.
What was when you went into your after that photo shoot, right? But it's a beautiful picture.
Oh
It is.
God, it's
It's
one
a
of my favorite
gorgeous.
shoots.
It is. When you right after this and you went into your disconnection season, people call it disconnection season, your dark season, whatever you had to do to get back to you, right? What all did you have to dump out of your cup, right? We talked about what's in there now, and we're going to talk about some other stuff that you didn't put in there. But before you was able to put the things in there now, you had to dump out some more stuff. I know we talked about toxic relationships. At the time, you were dealing with the grief of your parents and your sister, which stays in a cup regardless. We just learn how to work through those days, right?
Yes.
But we had some guests on here from season one that said she didn't even dump out her cup. She threw the whole cup in the trash and
Wow.
started over, right? But what are some of the things that you dumped out of your cup that we don't talk about now, right? Like we don't, not too many people talk about counseling and therapists and things of that nature. And I actually, because you do have a degree in psychology and I know what you're doing, and we're going to talk about that. But I like to tell people that yes, it's okay not to be okay, but it's also okay to go get a therapist. You can go get a
Mhm.
coach, because I'm a coach, right? First and
Yes.
foremost.
Yes.
But there are times where you need to go get a therapist or a psychologist, because if you're with the wrong coach and that wrong coach opened that trauma door and don't know how to help you, baby, you're gonna be in trouble. But what did you dump out? What else did you realize you had to dump out before you could, when you was in that moment, to start working on you?
Mm. Codependency.
Oh,
Because I had noticed at even at this age, I had noticed that why am I dealing with the um why am I dealing with separation anxiety? Well, self-talk every day in the mirror, because I talk about self-talk. I have three selves that I talk about in my journal.
okay,
Self-talk, self-control, and self-discipline. Amazing tool, been using it for years. It works. Um,
okay.
but I had to talk to Victoria. Victoria, what is causing this separation anxiety? Well, then Victoria
Mhm.
had to say, well, you did lose your parents and your sister. You are human. I had to remind Victoria, you're human. It don't matter how many people you feed. It don't matter how many people you get housed. It don't matter how many souls you get saved. You are human. And it was that in that moment that I had to really start taking notice of that. You need to eat, you human. You need to rest, you're human. You need to acknowledge how you're feeling, because I think life has served me so well.
Mhm.
I forgot I was human.
Right. And that's when you are the strong one at the table, right? When you are the one taking care of everybody, right? Like you said,
Yes.
you enjoyed cooking for them, baby. The pictures that you showed, I'm coming to Florida for my meal. I am.
Come
I
on.
tried to get you to freeze some and send it to me, but that didn't work.
Come
People
on.
in the house ate it all. Um, but whatever work you did during that time, right? It had to be soul searching. It had to be a transparency moment and growth for you on a few different levels. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. And definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because you also mentioned most recently your baby's a senior in high school, right? Which means if he goes away to school, because I see you've been pushing that with his mentor group,
Yeah.
amen to the mentors. I had a mentor group for my son too. Uh, and baby, they are wonderful, which means you're gonna go through this separation anxiety one more good
Yep.
time, especially if he live away from
You see me scratching?
home. Right, right. Look, we're gonna talk about, baby. Look, I done cut it all. Y'all see that, right?
You
I,
see me
I
over
had
here?
hair,
Listen,
but I done
listen,
cut it.
listen, my nerves. I told you I'm recovering. You see that?
I love it. So, but in that, right? You are preparing, and you shifted. You took a big shift,
Yeah.
and in that shift, you went from, not saying that you stopped, dealing with the adolescents and the young girls and after school, but you kind of put a pause on that part of your organization temporarily, because I know you're
Hmm.
coming back to it,
Hmm. Hmm.
but you created something called Her.
Yes.
What? Look at that smile. I saw it. I
You
saw it.
see
Don't
that?
be hiding. What is Her? Healing,
Wow.
enrich, and royalty. What? Because when you came back from your sabbatical, baby, you came back in beast mode. And
Mm,
all I've been seeing is Her. What is Her?
mm. Wow. Her is my baby. So every year I feel that birthdays should always be something monument. So I always birth a business or I birth a product. So one year I did lip gloss. I had to discontinue it. One year I did a journal. It's on Amazon. Hint, hint, go purchase. Um, and that one
Is
is
it on your
called,
website? They can get through there from your website, right?
yes,
There it
yes, ma'am.
is. All right. It's on the
Come
website,
on
y'all.
now.
Go ahead. I got
I
you. Go
love it.
ahead.
I love it. Come on. Um, but I birthed this back in 2021,
Hmm.
and we are official. So and client donations are always accepted. Saying that
Yeah.
to say, um, I birthed something I didn't even know I was birthing.
Right.
Wow. I birthed something I didn't even know I was birthing. I didn't even know, because mind you, uh her has just been sitting on the back burner. I hadn't
Okay.
done anything with it. I've always had it since 2021, but
Okay.
we have it today. And so, to answer your question, Her is a nonprofit organization that supports women that are coming out of incarceration or that are currently on probation. What does that mean? That means that when she gets out, she's going to need the basic fundamentals of how to get acclimated into today's society. What does that mean? That means coaching, case management, dressing for success. A lot of times when they get arrested, if they don't have a family member to call, guess where they're going? They're going into it. They're going into the system, Child Protective Services, also known as DCF, Department of Children and
Mhm.
Family. A lot of times, these women, if they go up the road, they lose contact with their children. So I
Yeah.
have paired up with an organization that oversees the state of Florida foster care system, and they have agreed to help me help these women connect with their children. So that's what we do. We support them coming out of the system because they need it. I recently went to Low with a phenomenal individual. She invited me to come with her to the reentry. And the reentry process are at least 50 to 100 women that are getting released in 3 months. And
Okay.
when I went into this room, I was like, man, this is what's coming back out into society.
Okay.
And these women, they have no resources. Well, that's where Her comes in at. We help heal, we help enrich, and we remind her she is royalty.
So speaking of what transpired and what happened when you went in that room, it put something else down deep in your soul, that you have an event coming up in Orlando next month called
Yes,
She Got Up.
that's it.
Baby, tell me about it. Tell the world about it. Because we talked about it, right? So you didn't kind of transition you made sure the adolescent girls is taken care of. But right now you trying to get the parents right, get the mamas right to get them back in their life. What is She Got Up? Coming to you live and direct, Orlando, October 26th. Tell us about it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So She Got Up is actually me. I was in that last wind of depression. I told you I'm in recovery.
Mm-hmm. Right?
And just recovering from that breakup. You know, Lord, why me? Oh my God, I can't eat. My mama gone, my daddy gone, my sister gone. You know all of that.
Right.
Beating
All of
yourself
that.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Beating yourself up. I mean, if I could just probably have an out of body experience, I probably would just sit and probably watch myself throw myself all up against the wall because I was literally beating
Mm-mm.
self up.
Right.
And so,
Okay.
uh, saying all that to say, I told you I'm in a season where I can hear God.
Right.
And I just heard God say, get up. And I be talking to God like, so what we doing? Why am I just, what we doing next? I'm bored. I need something to do. I'm eating too much. I need something to do.
Right.
I got too much time on my hands. I'm hurt. I'm sick. I miss my mom. Things that we say to ourselves. And I
Right.
heard what he said. He said, get up.
Mm.
He said, get up. Just like that. He said it wasn't forceful. It wasn't mean. It was just as content. Get up. And so I always have these come to Jesus moments on the side of my bed. And I got up and I sat on the side of my bed and I said, I hear you. I hear
Right.
you. So she is me. And I got up. And had I not got up, this event would have not taken, it would have not come into play. And so saying all of that to say, I began to just think about the services that are needed when these women are getting released from being incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
I got to pause right here because I got to go back to come back up. I'm a storyteller.
Go ahead.
I was standing in my living room one day and my business partner called me and she just called me on a limb and she was just like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, you remember me? And I was like, well, who was this? Because I was kind of going through something where I was transitioning
Okay.
from one job to the other job.
Okay.
And
Okay.
she called me. She's like, well, I'm just calling to see how you doing. And I said, well, I'm just kind of going through. And she
Right.
said, well, what's
Right.
going on? And I broke. And she said, well, we just gonna pray. It was just for me, it was
Mm.
just in that moment of the act of obedience. She called and she said, I want to pray, but I also have a business opportunity for you. I want to
Okay.
see, would you be interested? And after
Okay.
we prayed and the ugly cries all out and the tears dried up, she said,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm actually standing in my home. I have a transitional home and I want you to be the case manager for the women coming
Look
out of
at God.
prison. That ugly cry. Say
Right.
what?
All of. Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to do it now, but uh-huh.
Say what? And she said, yeah, I'm literally standing in the home. We passed the inspection. I have the women, they're coming in slowly but surely, but I'm missing one thing. I need a case manager. And it was in that moment, I was like, oh my God, you have not
Okay.
forgotten about me.
Mm-mm.
Working inside of the correctional facility, it made all like the dots just begin to connect.
Right.
And so she got up is really for those women. I told my boss lady, I call her boss lady, I said, I just want you to sit back and chill, let me do the lead work. I knock on the doors, we'll bring the resources to the women at the house. I know what they need, and you just sit back and look cute and you do what you do. Because let me tell you something, Miss Shan Purdue, this is for you, babe.
What's her name? Say it again. What's her name?
Shan Purdue.
Shambadoo. Okay, this is for
Okay.
you.
Let me go ahead and tag her real quick.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Shan Denise Purdue. There we go. Had she not responded to God's voice,
Okay.
transparent moment,
Okay.
I would still be trying to figure it out. God said,
Right.
get up. But when I was getting out of my bed, she was calling seconds later.
Look at God. Okay.
Had I not got up, I would have missed the call. But because I got up, and walked in the living room, my cell phone was ringing. I cannot make this up. And so, yeah, yeah. So she is me. And I tell people that she is me. I got up so that you can come and get healed and rich in your royalty.
I like that. Healed, enriched, and royalty. I love it. I love it. So let me put it out there. First of all, guys, girls, guys, whomever, if you are in near the vicinity of Orlando, Florida, or can get to Orlando, Florida, October 26th. Victoria, you still need volunteers.
We do. We do. I'm so glad you asked that because that is the one thing that we are lacking.
Look,
We
that telephone number right there. I got you right there.
period. Period. Don't play with my sons. Don't play with my sons. Period.
What you need? What do you need from? Because right now, you got up and you getting. I'm gonna say a bunch because you put a number out there and you said how many women you working with that day, but you need help from the community,
We
right?
do.
What
Yes.
do you need? What are you in need of right now?
Yes. We are in need of volunteers. We still because my heart, I'm stuck on this 150. Of
Okay.
course, no woman will get turned away, but my registration will stop at 150. But of course, if we get that 200 coming in, I'm grateful. No sis will get turned away. No sis will get left behind. Um, and so we are in need of volunteers. And then if you would like to drop off a dish, okay, some baked beans, um, something that bring to the table to feed these people. I tell people food brings a crowd. We want to make sure that not only are we providing these services, but we want to also make sure that we're feeding you for your time. Some
Okay.
people will be catching the bus. I don't know what the weather's going to look like. This is Florida. I want to make sure that I take care of you coming in the gate. If you ever been to any of my events, you already know that I do things over the top. If I ain't gonna do it right, I'm not gonna do it at all. So I
Right.
just want to make sure that when you come out, that when you walk into that room, um, you're in awe because you deserve it, sis. You've been through so much. I mean, I have worked. I'm so sorry, guys. I just elaborate here.
Let it
I
go.
have worked in the correctional facility, and it is just, and I'm not putting down the system because my goal is to work with the system.
Hmm.
But how they handle the individuals, it is so reckless.
Okay.
When these women get out, and not even women, when these men and women get out, their souls are broken.
Hmm.
Their souls are broke. And it just comes from how they are treated behind those bars. And I get it. You do the time, you pay the time. I'm all for that. But at the end of the day, sometimes we forget about humanity. We forget it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I'm sorry. I can go all day about the correctional facility.
But it's one of those that if you have a heart, no matter what your religious standpoint is, whatever your spirituality is, if you have a heart for second chances, right?
Yes.
Or for people that need a second chance, they're not necessarily looking for a handout. They're looking for a hand up. They want to know how to get reacclimated in the society today, right? If they've been behind bars 6 months, 6 years, 60 years, they need to be able to get reacclimated and they just need a little hand up. They need a little help. They need to know
Absolutely.
how so they won't go back. And this is mess me talking. I don't have a criminal degree or anything. I just know what the streets say, right?
Yes.
Um, but baby, my family story is it's a that book that's coming. Oh, Jesus.
Mm.
But what I've noticed that when individuals can't get the help that they need once they get out, right? If
Yes.
it's, a document that they need to get or just a little extra hands up, they go back to the familiar grounds and the familiar
Yep.
territories
That's
that
it.
got them behind bars in the first place
That's it.
because no one has showed them how to. You out there selling whatever you selling, right? You
That's
can do
right.
that hand over fist. Let's turn that into an actual business thing, right?
Yes.
Where you can file taxes and make legitimate money
That's it.
and make it
That's
grow.
it.
No one
That's
is
it.
helping them do that because they can't see past what they did in their past. And I'll
Right.
be the first person to tell you, everybody got a pass.
Yeah. Oh
Just
yeah.
everybody may or may not get caught, right? Or
That's right.
everybody may or may not be ready to talk about it. And that's why we are here on What's in Your Cup conversation, because these hidden pass, we are done with it. So right now, y'all, if you watching it live, if you are watching the replay, there is a telephone number on the screen. If you are available on October 26th to show up to help volunteer, send a text message to this number. That's right, right? Send a text message.
Yes.
Um, Take a picture of the flyer. You can scan the little scan thing on the flyer. I got you. I told you I was gonna put it all out there
I see you.
for
You showing
those
out.
that are not able to make it to Florida, but they want to donate, because you are a for real, legitimate non-profit company.
That's it.
How are they able to do a donation? Should they text this number, or is it on your website?
Yep, they can text the number, this number
Okay.
here, and just put donate, and then I'll send them the link for them
Okay.
to donate. You can donate. You can always donate through our business line, which is the 321-806-7213, and that will go right to the Zelle account, to the business account. Or you can
Okay.
always do Cash App, and that number is 321-806-7213 as well. So there's multiple ways, Cash App, or you can always do Zelle.
Okay. So I need y'all to text the number on the screen so you can ask her which one is Cash App, which one is Zelle. We don't want no mishaps.
Yes.
If you have a service, reach out. Her needs your assistance. If you
Yes.
are willing and able to volunteer some hours, if you have a company that can help with some things that you don't see on the screen, reach out. Victoria needs your help. Her needs your help. The women
Yes.
she's worked. She said 150 women, y'all. So we're talking women that may or may not have kids, some that's coming out with new kids, some that are working on doing the work to get their children back.
Yes.
We're trying to rehabilitate homes and bring homes back together, right?
Yes.
What else you need from the people? We talking about her right now. We talking about you. What do you need from, because your cup right now is running over, baby, and you
Amen.
are feeding souls from your saucer. You are.
Amen.
You are. So
Amen.
what else? What you need? What you need from the people? This is your moment.
So we are not doing swag bags because I have tons of swag bags still left from events. So I told my team I'm over the swag bags. What I want to do is I want to do 50 raffles of things that women need. So that could be a TV, that could be a laptop, that can be diapers, that can be a box of groceries. So we just need, if you have like any services that you would like to give for a raffle, we're taking it all. And we just want to make sure that we're just, it's an expo, a day full of resources, but we also want to be a blessing to those women. So we also need Pampers. We need Pampers because I've had a couple mom reach out to me and say, hey, my baby needs some Pampers. So we need Pampers all sizes. I know it sounds crazy, but why they giving Pampers? Because trust me, I've been a single mom. I've had my last diaper for my baby 18 years ago. So I know what that feels like. If you have formula, okay, please, by all means.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, just things that a mother would need to allow her household to run more effectively. I believe that if the mother is happy, the child will be happy. So we just want to make sure that we're posturing the moms in a place where they can be happy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So if you have a heart, if you are in the community, if you believe in people getting second chances and you have a little time, right? If you have a service that you can donate time, if you have a few extra coins that you can send to get a grocery box, a grocery basket, a thing of diapers, if you want to order the diapers and have them sent over, text that number and get the mailing address, right? We are in a society right now where technology is everything. We have no excuses, right? From one coast to the next, there are absolutely no excuses on why we cannot serve and be of service if this is truly what you want, you have a heart for. Um, Before we leave, because you're not gonna get me to completely ball out and cry. You're not. We're not gonna do this on episode one. We not. Because we just getting started, y'all. We are, and this is why we can only do it every other Wednesday, because it is so emotional, right? And it's a lot to unpack. If they don't hear nothing else that you said, right? If they have to really don't hear nothing else you said, we talked about her. We talked about she is you. We talked about the toxic relate. We talked about a lot.
Yes.
What is the takeaways? What do you want them to take away from your healing journey? What you've been through? Um, they need journals. Go to her website. Get the journal she have. I got one. It's I couldn't bring it up because it's used, and maybe I got notes, and don't trap. I got notes. But what do you want the people to take away from you today?
I think that I believe that we are in a day and time where it is very crucial. Everything from to the election to the fellation, to raising our children up, to um, just everything. Look at the news. I don't need to go into details. If you watch the
Mm-hmm,
news, you already know where I'm going.
mm-hmm,
Um, the takeaway is, if you don't focus on anything else, take time out for you. I think for me, the self care is just making sure that you are good. Now, I ain't talking about getting your nails done. I'm not even talking about getting your hair done. I'm not talking about getting your feet done. I'm not talking about going shopping. I'm not talking about getting food for your house. I'm not talking about paying bills. I'm talking about unplugging when it is necessary. I have seen so many leaders fall short because they did not take time out for themselves. That was not going to be my story, because I'm important. In order for all of my hats to be worn properly,
mm-hmm,
my God, today,
mm-hmm.
I had to take them off to focus on Victoria. Why? Because first and foremost, I need me and my son needs me.
Right.
And so I think for me, my takeaway to you is making sure that you take time out for you. What does that look like? Simply unplugging from every single outlet to make sure that you are good for you. And that's my takeaway.
Do we have to give notice? Like, hey, social media, I'm taking a break. I'll see y'all in 7 days.
Mm-mm. You don't owe nobody nothing.
Ooh.
That's why
But
I'm
it's
at in
social
life.
media. They gonna cancel me if I don't, tell them
Mhm.
everything I'm doing.
Oh, I have lost probably about 50% of my following.
Because
I
you
have lost about,
unplugged with no
I-
notice.
yeah, I have lost about 50% of my following. Some people don't even know who I am. Guess what? It's okay. It's
Okay.
okay. Because guess what? That
You
bounce back
still
be
here.
real.
That baby, because your bounce back came back like a vengeance. Like what? Whoa, okay. Yeah. I'm with that.
Yeah,
I am with all of that. And I appreciate you.
I
So we're
appreciate you.
going to keep up with Miss Victoria. We're going to keep up with her. We're going to support her healing, enrich, and royalty. It is a complete non-legitimate. We're gonna put that L word, a legitimate
Yes,
non-profit. So you got a donation, monetary or otherwise, text this number. Don't call this number, y'all. Text this number for whatever it is that you need, right? And you will definitely get a response.
yes.
Um, I want to thank you for taking your time out, because I know it is late in the midnight hour over there on the East Coast, right?
Okay.
You've had a long day. I want to see if anybody had any, because you've been getting, you know, praises and thank yous. I want to make sure no one had questions about what you're doing with her. So I want to give that a little time because I know that there could be a delay. It's technology, it
Yes.
is what it is. Um, I thank you, as Roy said, thank you for sharing your story because I know you said this was like one of the first times that you've been able to truly tell your
Yes.
story without
Yes.
the added tears, right?
Let me tell
Um,
you, I was embarrassed. I was ashamed.
embarrassed.
Oh yeah, when my mother passed, my dad and my sister, I was embarrassed because for me that seemed unorthodox. It was just like boom, 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 and I was like, this is, I don't know how to explain this because I was getting questioned. So I didn't know how
Okay.
to. I didn't, because it's, people was like, well, what are you doing? I'm just living. I don't know. And for me, the questions are the things that people, well, what did they die from? What did you do? Why are you, you're a believer? Did you pray? I mean, the things that people were saying, I had to unplug for my sanity because the things that people was asking me, I'm just like, so what are you saying? What are you implying? And so for
Wait,
me,
they really asked you, did you pray about it?
oh yeah,
You of all people.
listen, I can't even tell you because you know me, I'm gonna pray wherever.
Right. Right.
I don't care where we at, the gas station. Who I'm going where I'll pray with you quick. And so for me, it was just the questions that were being asked was just not realistic. So I said to better Victoria, let me unplug.
Okay.
And when the time is right, I'll be able to talk about it gracefully. And so here I am today.
Okay. Before I give you my last words, right? If you, first and foremost, guys, if you have a very particular topic that you want us to talk about that you are not ready to make public, send us an email and I got you covered. We will get that topic talked about and no one will ever know that it came from you. You can email us at
Mhm.
smile@consuelanicole.com. If you are ready to tell your story and you are looking for a platform to tell your story, to tell not even just your story, your testimony of what's in your cup and what you dumped out of your cup, what you working on, or if you threw the entire cup away, visit us at what'sinyourcupconversations.com. Baby, look, when I tell you, we still got some slots available for season 2, right? For the second half of season 2. But baby, we got some storms coming through here that's about to clean the house, right? We got
Wow.
some folks in here that swept around they own, what that song say, sweep around your own front door. They
That's
done
it.
sweep around the front door, the side door, the carport. They they didn't swept it down. And they coming back for everything that the world tried to
Wow.
take from them. And we got some special stuff coming up. So with that being said, my last question to you, Victoria, and this is something I ask all of my guests, right? Oh, I like that, Roy. You had to check your source. Yeah, you had to check your source.
Yeah.
With everything that you do, right? With me, no, we shared your background, what you currently do, what you're doing with her, what you did with the young girls, even what you're doing with your son, right? Um, and I purposely didn't do a lot of talking about your son because as her needed to be put out there, like for real, for real. But like you
Yeah.
said, your son is your baby. Your son is, baby, I've watched what you do with your son and what you instill into him, and it's beautiful. And
Thank
you've
you.
let it be known that, you had to put some men in his life to show him how to be a man, like for real, for real. What does it mean to Victoria as a single mom, as a mother who's lost, like you said, the most meaningful people in her life, who was broken, who was embarrassed? What does it mean to you now to be beautifully flawed?
Mm. Mm. Wow. What does it mean to be beautifully flawed?
Mhm.
It's a badge of honor. Um, I know what mental health looks like.
Right.
Um, I know what it looks like when you don't know God for yourself. And I will say that had I not known God, I thank my mom for having me in church young. Um, had I not had the instructions to go before God at 42, um, I very well could be over there with them in the cuckoo's nest. Um, but God, but God, um, God has truly had his hands on me so that I can be, and I'm still resolving, I'm still unfolding, so that I can be, you know, beautifully flawed. Um, so yeah,
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have reached the end of episode 1, season 2, with Miss Victoria of the Her Foundation. You heard it here, what she's in need of, what her desire is, what we are charging you with. Make sure you join us in 2 weeks. I had to look at the date, I had to check it out. September 25th, we are coming back with a new guest. So I'm giving y'all 2 weeks to take all this in. We're going to pour into Victoria. We're going to pour into her. We're going to make sure that her and those 150 women get up and get what they need. Until next time, remember it is okay to pause when you need to, pivot like you need to, and
yes.
push when you are ready. Until next time, everybody, have a good night.
Good night.